The people lied to you. They told you that getting your manicures, getting your massages, going to fancy restaurants, spending lots of money, buying the Chanel bag or the Louis purse, whatever, was going to make you happy, was going to make you feel loved, but you didn't. It doesn't come from outside of yourself. Self-love is something that you must cultivate from deep within you so that it's a knowing and that nothing on the outside can affect. Hey, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Sharice. I help Black men and women heal from trauma and toxic relationships. Today, we are talking about self-love, and I'm going to break it down by section of mind, body, soul, because this is a spirit, soul, sense channel where I like to incorporate spiritual techniques to help you live a happier, more joyful, peaceful life. Now, just like the word love, self-love is an action word. You can't say you love yourself and then treat yourself badly. Those things are the opposite. So I want you to think about the things I'm talking about today and questions to ask yourself am I doing the action of loving myself in addition to the feeling of loving yourself? So when it comes to the mind, signs that you are actually engaging in self-love means that you have a peaceful mind, you think positive thoughts about yourself, others, and the world. There's a clarity to your thinking. That is evidence of self-love. The opposite of that, love has no opposite, but is overthinking negative thoughts about yourself and having thoughts about yourself and the world based on a scarcity mindset. If you don't see self-love in the way that you are thinking, there are lots of different ways to improve your self-love in this area. Lots of videos on my channel talk about this specifically, but just a few would include meditating to clear your mind, practicing meditating, also practicing to say nice things to yourself. So a lot of this is what happens in therapy. I'm a licensed psychologist. What you're going to be learning to do from a therapist or teaching yourself is how to catch yourself when you aren't saying nice things and then reframing it in a positive way so that you can be talking kindly to yourself. You can also read self-help books that are about the mind, books that are about calming down, or watch YouTube videos. I love YouTube University. There's lots of people that have programs or courses. Beware of scammers, but lots of people who are working on creating a mental landscape that is open to love, to kindness, and open to the wonderful things of the world. The second major area is your body. Are you eating nourishing foods? Are you exercising your body in a loving way? Or are you punishing yourself, whether that's by restricting food or overeating or compulsively exercising, or refusing to move your body and eating foods that are harmful to you? Based on the combination of all the areas that I'm talking about today, all you have to do is tell me what you do in a typical week, and I can let you know if you are loving on yourself or not. Like, you can say, I love myself, I'm a bad bitch, I love myself, I'm a whole baddie, babe, all the things. But if you are not actively doing things in your favor, you cannot tell me you care about yourself. You cannot tell me that you love yourself. What you do on a day-to-day basis, what your weekly routines are, what you do in a month are where life is lived, and give me all the information I need to know about how you feel about yourself. So a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of books on how to eat well, a lot of books on centenarians and people who live a long, healthy life. There is a general framework around what it takes for the body to be healthy and for people to live a very active lifestyle up until they die. I think some people don't know, right? I have a few videos on my channel about eating and weight and exercising and that kind of stuff. Not a lot of videos because that's not my focus really. There are lots of people who specialize in this particular area. One of the last books that I read was called Ikigai, which followed centenarians in Japan, Okinawa. I think it was Okinawa. One of the things that really helps people live long, healthy lives is being a part of a community, moving their body, whether that was through walking, physical activity, their Tai Chi. In our lives, some kind of resistance training is very, very important in addition to cardiovascular exercise. You can do that by walking or by running. Lots of different ways. The Stairmaster, you just need to make sure you move your body, even if that is dancing 3 times a week. Whatever it is, you need to move your body. That's one of the ways that people really decline once they pass 50, just about. If you have not built a sustainable exercise practice, I'm telling you, your body's going to deteriorate. Similar to what you eat, there are a lot of different diets, meal plans, what people consider to be the best way to eat. I would encourage you to look at the blue zones, what their general diet is. Listen, I'm from the Caribbean. The things that we ate, a lot of the historical things are what I consider to be slave food and stuff that nobody should be eating because it's some of the worst parts of food to eat. But Caribbean food is not inherently unhealthy. A lot of the problems with, Caribbean people is about portion size. They want 2 cups of rice and a side of mac and cheese and a side of potato salad and 2 different meats and a bunch of salt. They just want all the things. And so compacting that to also consider portion size in addition to what are you actually eating. All the diets of the world where people live a really long time talk a lot about whole foods, about eating lots of vegetables, eating some fruit, but having a really balanced diet. They don't necessarily restrict anything. And unless you have a dietary allergy to something, I wouldn't really encourage you to restrict anything either. People are saying no gluten. People are saying, no meat. But really, I want you to consider what works for you. How does your body feel after you eat something? I'm going dairy-free this year. And I'm thinking about, my journey from eating dairy without really thinking about it, not realizing it was making me bloated, to understanding the effect it had on me, to eating, dairy with lactate pills, to now rarely eating dairy. We're halfway through the year. I rarely eat dairy. Maybe I'm up to like once or twice a month now. I actually purposely eat dairy because I know how harmful it is for my body. I should not be eating dairy. It's one of the ways I love myself. I don't eat dairy. I have so many replacements for dairy that it's so easy now for me not to eat dairy. And so the conscious decision, by the end of the year, I promise you, I will be dairy free like 100%. I'll be up to 0 times a month eating dairy. But I want you to consider, what is it for you? What are some foods that you maybe shouldn't be eating? What are some things that you need to be doing with your body to actually show yourself love? And the last area is your soul. One of my favorite things to talk about, God. What is your relationship like with God? And you know that you actually are practicing self-love in this area because you have an inner peace. You're human, so this is not something that lasts 100% of the time. But generally speaking, most of the time, no matter what is happening in your world, what is going on outside there in the world, what is happening, with your kids or your job, you feel a knowing, a deep knowing, a sureness that you are good. Everything is working out for you, that there is nothing for you to worry about, right? So you don't live with anxiety or depression or, any other, mental health disorders. Maybe you did at one point in time, but there's a spiritual solution to every problem. And one of the things that it would be very important for you to practice is cultivating your relationship with God. And there's a passage that I meant to get. I have to, hold on. One of my favorite passages from Robin Norwood, Women Who Love Too Much. This is a whole other subject, but she talks about developing your spirituality through daily practice and how this can mean different things for different people. And for some people, they don't want to do it because of God, the God stuff. But she says, developing your spiritual practice can mean pretty much following whatever path you choose. Even if you are 100% atheist, perhaps you get pleasure and solace from a quiet walk or contemplating a sunset or some aspect of nature. Whatever takes you beyond yourself and into a broader perspective on things is what this step is all about. The language of God is silence. That is the spiritual practice. If you are unable to sit in silence, whether you're by yourself or with somebody else, then that is exactly what you need to be practicing, because that's where your relationship with God is. Time with yourself, with God, being open to the messages, even if you don't believe in God, but understanding that the peace that passes all understanding, peace, inner peace, being sure that things are working out for you, having an abundance mindset, is what's important when it comes to self-love. And if you're religious, you can do a lot of the Jesus loves me sort of work to remind yourself, like the Maya Angelou clip of her saying, Jesus loves me, Jesus loves me, Jesus loves me. It can be so empowering that you understand you are just one person out of the 8 billion people on the world, but you matter. You are important, and that life is working out for you. Okay? So let me know. Have you been loving on yourself? Have you been doing the things? Are there areas that you need to grow in more? Let me know in the comments. I like to respond to you all. Please share this video with somebody you think it may help. Give this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and thank you for watching. Love, baby.